What draws us to want to come together like this? Hmm? I'm guessing part of it is love. Hmm? Connection, wanting connection, feeling a connection. And also the topic itself, to want to go into exploring within yourself what it is to be opening to that which feels bound inside is a movement of love. It takes a certain, I don't know, maturity, an inner maturity to be interested in this topic, even to be willing to go into that which is contracted within ourselves, right? And explore and kind of peek in there and open it up and actually know ourselves as that. See? To take up residence in that which feels bound inside and just kind of like scoot in there and plop yourself down right in an uncomfortable, perhaps, experience, feeling. You just go right in the middle of it and let yourself feel the tightness and the boundness, and just kind of like, being a baby and in the womb before you come out. It's just really tight. I'm guessing that's probably what it felt like, right? But there's freedom that lies right within letting ourselves enter into that imitation of being bound. Why else would it be there? There's no mistake, see? Feeling contracted, feeling, okay, we'll put words to it, and then it goes deeper than words. There's all the things that we tend to resist, such as sadness, right? Grief, anger, all these emotional, the weather, the type of weather that exists, right? The human weather. It's, as many of you here know, because I know some of you, there's such freedom that lies in going up and out and finding out who we are. Okay? And it doesn't have to be in this kind of order. I really want to point that out, because it's never too soon to be able to learn how to enter into experience. You don't have to have some kind of outer awakening experience of up and out, knowing yourself free of content, free of being bound. Right? But it's a valuable experience to have. It's just 50% of the story. We're here as human beings. Okay. So the back down and in is what we're doing together today here. So down and in is the same in the end as up and out, in the sense that within us, within this kind of sense of being a contracted aspect of consciousness, just being in a skin with bones and feeling is consciousness in form, right? Which has limitations by its nature. And so how to be with these limitations in a way that is that invites the freedom that we are when the same kind of freedom, but in a different kind of way as the unbound. And can we drop interpretation? Can we drop even preference? Because it's sort of natural that we have a preference to feel certain ways, right? And it's also collectively agreed upon that sadness is bad. I mean, it's not necessarily taught how to be with our ever-changing inner landscape. And so we as spiritual types, to various degrees, spiritual types, right? A lot of us go into spirituality in order to be able to deal and cope with the human experience. That's not all there is to it, right? There is also sort of an enlightenment impulse. Definitely. That is primary, actually. There are many types of teachings out there, right? But this is kind of like the nitty-gritty type. And more people are being drawn to it. It's like there have been centuries and centuries, and thank goodness for these pioneers and these beings throughout time. I think we can all give them, I mean, really, if you feel it, a huge thank you for treading the path and laying down a trail for us to be able to follow, and a stream, more it's like a stream, to be able to enter the stream together, that there is something that is more than this material world, what it seems to be, right? But consciousness, it keeps growing. I mean, look, it's called evolution. So evolutionarily, consciousness is entering down into experience and penetrating experience in order to know itself more and more deeply. It gives birth to itself, so it goes and it deepens in the exploration of what it gave birth to. And that's what we are, see? Consciousness expressed. So all these rights and wrongs and shoulds and shouldn'ts, and some things are allowed and other things aren't. Some things are spiritual and other things aren't. It really limits, it puts into boxes spirit, right? And what's so interesting, and maybe I'm sure everyone here has had the experience, that when you welcome something wholeheartedly, right? You open to it, no matter how contracted or difficult it seems in the moment, right? It's just really bound up inside, and you're like, okay, I'm going to go in there and explore and see. Isn't that sort of magical what happens? It's like you let yourself, you finally stop saying no. You finally go down and let yourself be a point in consciousness. I'm not saying, I want to be unbound, right? That's not God, that's not spirit. And it's not anyone's fault to feel that way. It's just conditioning. And even spiritual, like I said, things are changing. To have that kind of instruction, I'm sure it's been going on for a long, long time, that type of instruction. And Tantra teachings or whatever, but the primary instructions have been the up and out type. So going down, letting yourself be a point in consciousness and not moving. Okay. I'm sure part of you could explore that right now while I'm speaking. Because there's always something up. There's gonna be experiences happening, okay? There's gonna be bound and unbound and all the spectrum happening all at once. Okay? So can you just let yourself be this point in consciousness right now? Just and say, ah. Let go of the struggle, let go of the fight. Just put it down. I give up. And I don't know what it's about. You don't have to know. I don't know what it's going to lead to. It's a very safe space here. If any of you start to lose it, I'm here. I'm not saying you're going to, but it really, there's got to be a time and place where we finally stop running. And when we stop with one thing, one single moment, it opens the door for lots and lots of surrender to happen all over the place, okay? I noticed some people are going in and out of video, and you can do that if you want to, but I invite you to stay as much as you can present here, and no right or wrong. If you need to go, take a break, that's fine. So what's going on right now within yourself? So this is the inner training, like inner training. Kind of doesn't really end as long as we're in form. Okay. We get more easeful with it, becomes more comfortable. What it really is letting go of the fear of being identified. Okay. We could meet again and do a whole webinar on letting go of identification. I can talk about that just as much. Okay, it's a beautiful subject. But there are lots of teachings out there for that. And beautiful, beautiful teachers. Probably pointing much better than I could about it. Entering into the up and out, one way, not one way, two ways, different teachings, but like it's cohesive. It's a cohesive whole. Just depends on what we are needing in any single moment, okay? And even, I'm telling you, during the day, there are lots of times when non-identification is happening within myself, within here. See, the one that is noticing, I'll make a little plug for non-identification. But that which is noticing is unidentified, okay? So you are already unidentified. You are the boundless. You're so boundless that you can enter into being bound without getting lost. It just becomes, it takes practice, okay? Because you got to start somewhere, and like I said, I don't know where on the spectrum you are, and it's, it's like there's all types here and journeys going on, including myself, right? It's just, it's like learning a language. You become more and more facile, facility with it. Of learning how to enter into something that's bound within. Don't even have to look too far. I'm not saying go on the hunt like a bloodhound. Usually it's right here. It's presenting itself, right? And that which is noticing it, okay? That's awareness, right? That's the unbound. It's always simultaneous, side by side with you, with experience. The formless meeting form. And how they touch is so important. Okay. That's making things conscious. How they touch is bringing it out of hiding, learning how not to turn away. It's such an intimate thing, how they touch. Can you stand that level of intimacy? Okay. Yes. And we grow in the ability. We grow in the ability to let ourselves be touched. This is God touching itself. You are God. No matter how much you feel it or not, that which doesn't feel it is that too. As you know, and have heard, and maybe gaining greater knowing that there's only one thing going on here. However your life is looking right now, however your past has been, whatever is going to happen in the so-called future, only one thing going on here. And that's God. God going into hiding, God coming out of hiding, God being in love with itself, God being confused, God seemingly growing old. In time, God in time, and the timeless. And so the more that the formlessness that we are knows itself within form, the less lost it feels, and the more it becomes a creative expression, a moving creative expression. And then it starts to play. There comes a point when it becomes more, not that difficult, things don't happen anymore. We can't control what life has in store for us. But we can learn how to remain, to be openness, and let ourselves be touched by what life is offering. And be open to what it feels like to not have control. Be open to any fears that come up at any time of the day. Be open to that which is also beautiful and already peaceful. It's not about what's wrong, always what's wrong in the moment, but also what's right. A lot of us have an inner resistance to feeling the beauty. Isn't it funny? I discovered that for myself over time. It's like I had to learn how to open up, and still do. I think that's never ending, to how beautiful things are, or, like when it presents itself. And open up to our passions and to our love for things, for people, love for self. It keeps deepening. See, there's also some story there that can be there. I don't deserve it. I can't give that to myself. If I let myself feel that good, that level of joy or whatever, it's just going to go away. Right? But that's the nature of things. To come and go, come and go, come and go. But what, of course, just have to say, what's always here? You hear that. And that is a great teaching. That can never get old. Don't let that one get too worn out. you know, where we get blasé about our core essential teachings. You know what Ramana says about what's always here. Let everything come and go. There's a time and place for everything, okay? There's a time and place to be really steeping in presence and to be really like, and you'll know when that time is, because that's what the calling will be. You won't be like having a choice about it. You just want to be in satsang. You want to be in that which is always, you know, the coming and going. Forget the coming and going. I want to be with what's always here. Yeah? There's a time for that. Give yourself that. It's beautiful. It's because it wants to like go boom inside and settle into the belly and stay there.